Good morning wherever you are, and good afternoon wherever you are, and good evening wherever you are. Once more, welcome you be Amra in the show now. The spiritual world, time with Prophet Walker. And say last week, I said, give a reflection on the global events. Now, in some kakrebi coming up. The next topic I choose here now. What's a nuclear war? The third war possible. So Busa say third world war possible now. Because him say last week in the United States, only a change come up with ya. Now they are now all Kenyan and say, oh yeah, what was a projection? One can say prophecy free nyame and asi bibi, but on one can say now a spiritual projection. No one say US involve China and North Korea in terms of so we impose sanctions on them. This is what is going to happen. So countries we mo. So countries we no. Ebe so US make it move now. Ebe trigger World War III. So it means there's some sort of condition here. One can say but me busa no in terms of possibility or percentage. And or making it clear say it's around like ancient is about 90%. So from a week ago, let's put it that way, it hasn't been that easy with questions. Yes, I'll be follow up, but prior to that, you're talking about your sports and so. We heard the also amongst the Black Star, no. If there's any future for them, and the Mebusano said there also is a prophet who made on why. You see, let me say this: our program, and yet religious program. And I are talking just about Catholic Church, Presbyterian Church, Methodist Church, Anglican, 7-day, or the modern day charismatic churches. It's a spiritual teachings. Okay? Some people may come on this solely to practice religion, which is okay. Obeko Presby, all out. That's okay. Catholic, all out. Obeko charismatic church, all out. But yet, yes, you want to learn something beyond your religion, which is spiritualism. Anything you can find about it. So somehow he talks about the African traditional religion. Now Obuaye on this modern day. And some of the churches they believe a modern day occult charismatic practices or Christianity. That's what some people are even saying. It is not let's not be quick to judge. I mean, no NASID. You probably bring even the advanced countries in the crowd or more consultants on my way. So somehow kind and beginning of the show now, dear Beman explain I'm be brand and say projection vision dream the in and a prophecy mean so I say teaching way, but one say yeah you refeel into Obabaka say projection will be as in Yakupon afterwards we contacted and I knew so yes teachings no fear. So projection is almost ability or motivity determines idea. Now let's do this. Say on one ability and determine it means there's no guarantee you be MM. I know most of us are attacking the power. Say if you cry with some sort of US and I'm so they want US now Ghana. Almost only organ and our worship bad or evil for these people. To move an explanation away here now. Or can say even Ukraine the able won't be brilliant in our same sea. So him I the bonny man and the papa. But I never want to explain now if you want my now you're getting into what is happening on the global front. Mammy means Sammy and up no. I didn't I was started for Nipa Mini, Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. Rebecca 2014, Putin what you call annexation of Crimea, taking some part of Eastern Europe, which is part of Ukraine. Along the line, or say the NATO is dipping into the Eastern Alliance. Therefore, it creates security concern and manner to the purpose of anything. Obey taking Ukraine because Ukraine to him is part of it was part of former USSR, but today opposite Ukraine is part of Russia because a stone throw to our borders. So let's say Western people not to deploy weapons. Let's say a big jeopardize almost security. I didn't go for break and once some went. Initially, crowd also not doing so just go. He doesn't have any intent say or invade. But let's see what happened. Yahun's invasion across almost a month. After them, some change course. The course the Russians are changing is saying their intent, their political objective and strategic objective was say no more take the entire country, so that they do what we call change of government or the current administration, elected administration, which is Zelensky ministers, they will surrender. So Russia will plant on anymore so that he can control the person. We've seen it before. Their population is about 45 million people. Adi AC some time back. Now Russia stooge also. The people chose democracy over tyranny. 2014, and they started in Russia. It took 2 big cities, because a pro-Russian people means almost Russian language. Now, their president is we are who go against the sovereignty of the country. It didn't go well with him. The invasion is started. These people have shown steadfast. They've shown to be brave, including their leader. Most of them evacuating me, I know. Rather, I'm more weapons to defend myself. He's been counting on the Western allies in terms of information, military equipment, and you see, almost much Russians are not very well. A month into, the Russians today are showing defiance, saying the attacks on the Ukrainians is going as planned. But between you and I, we know very well. So as a superpower, as a special operation, now it has turned to be full-blown weapons. We've seen the Russians using most of the advanced weapons, including the hypersonic. I per se, when I saw them using the hypersonic missile, the first thing I said is it's needless. Because and yet moving from one continent to another continent or distance no use because of its maneuverability and the speed of it. That was no need. We've seen a number of Russian soldiers are almost tanks, planes are down in it. And the other side too, they've also lost some people. So it means it's not benefiting. But if you say special operations, it should have ended within that shortest possible time. Because he said it wasn't war, fine. But then you know what is happening. Recently, the updates are happening. They've changed their course. What does that mean? Now, the Russians are the defensive side. Some places are captured, Now the Ukrainians are taking it back. Now they say they are going to focus on the Donbass. Meaning, their initial goal, original strategic goal, so mobile take the entire Kiev and other big cities, They know that the more who face tough resistance affect your mobile. So over the weekend, we saw the U.S. president. For the first time, we saw the bold nature of Joe Biden. Okasapa, Oko Poland, no. First, we'll give you assurance to the Polish people. We say where NATO country be these 30 countries, so Russia attack even one or you make mistake. Maybe be can't the soul of any NATO member be what is going to happen? They said they will invoke the Article 5, which means you attack one, you attack us all. And no, and a Prophet Walker and someone can last week. So what can I be bear? What can I say? The bizarre saying, what about if a NATO country is attacked? I say yes, and this will be trigger World War 3. Ubi here no because say good feelings. I know say nipa be frustrations this kind of unnecessary attacks and now wage your name no. Directly or indirectly through me no. Was because you have to go to your country. A lot of people will suffer. If US is attacked today, automatically one way or the other, the war itself has come to an end. And everybody knows with full-blown nuclear war, nobody's going to win. It occurs, not only say raise the eyebrow. I mean, put a lot of doubt on his work and his prophetic work, and he has also tried to justify it based on the previous prophecies in Samaokaya Ebiabebemuno. And the whole Yaman is our credit now. But I mean, to talk about World War here, Putin himself knows it, so on won't win it, irrespective of how he wants to embark on preemptive strike. The other countries will also fire back to him because he's not dealing with the Americans, he's dealing with the British. These are the nuclear forces, the French people, and the Germans too. And Turkey even also possesses nukes. I mean, almost shelter US Zema. So, President Joe Biden Kasai. Now we've seen so much change course. Yeah, who North Korea so tested one of their long-range missiles, ballistic missiles. They be so up attention. And no, and channel. the who kakra so any. Indiana North Korea for years no. So mbaka last week so kan was say US will benya Intel bi. Na Intel no mu benya no. It's an Intel la ebema Americans no a project to say na North Korea ka ho. And I say China nso e ka ho. And no ebema North Korea for a launch attacks on US and part of the Western countries no, which is the European countries no. Now Prophet Walker can't handsome way no. I know say be pre nina nyadre. You see, I'm quoting him verbatim. Or can't say me. Or see, be who say US for dropping bombs on these countries, you know. Now, I'm dropping bombs now. Excuse me. I'm dropping bombs now. He drew Russia, China. And in North Korea, exploded. There was a common sense application. How the him say, "Oh man, I'm attacking on me." Cry now. I was in doubt. Me no problem. Say how? And no, and all this spiritualism bear mu. Say China food used to be a friend of Sun God. Russia used to be a friend of Moon God. And North Korea also used to be a friend of Leviathan. And they are causing trouble. Let's do this. It's exactly 2:30. Program no. Let's say it's starting on 2 p.m. on Eastern clock. See a bekaya. I'm saying a time difference in your spring. We are not in summer anyway. For me, being in my summer wear or my beach wear, no, we are not in summer. But in the weather, need good out there. Until you know, this what happened. Yesterday, we know. So, time you know, I drop it. Difference never when I drop it. Your mom more gun and him zombie late. Because instead of 5 hours difference, I bear 4 hours. And the idea starting exactly 2:15 which is 6 p.m. in Ghana. But on the fly, it says 7 p.m. It at least 30 minutes video mobile message. To the next 5 minutes, Mama and Yanami file Prophet Walker enter line so. Yeah, be man a brief years. Our projection, like I said, dear bad, and on one to me be an Ghana for it to me be. Ebi crossing ke yehu ne sa na se ke de empire boss do si 2 year for me. It say started say attack na. So mama yen ni say. Yes, Prophet Oga.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening, let's say.
Now go bad more.
Nagana so.
Ghana boko. Now go bad.
And then say last week program no, and I try say yeah, bear follow up kakra. Say last week to be frank with you, uja and people because say and case we nija like. There was a lot of doubt. Like I said, why am I arguing my size and they be more receive your messaging with fear? No, I'm saying, why am I arguing my na how you cry? Nah, there's been a lot of questions. Since I work as at Monday to Wednesday, and I'm afraid I directed questions in to you. I mean, the other part say, I mean, if I won't bash you, no money there. Excuse me, I rubbish that part. You know, sometimes. As I stated, no, he was born to practice religion. Initially, the comments now making about our aspect now. Religion, I just follow up religion. This program and religious show, my count several times. Spiritual teachings near Yawaha. Baby, I say, pay attention to spiritual issues. Some people are even atheists. Only believe in Sanyo Mano. They don't believe in spiritualism. They don't believe in religion, which is okay. But I don't attack people. Okay? Now you'll be a Nipan not for a very long time. And somehow Wakano, Yabamunina Watibi, the Yamamunina Sutibi. You know, I think there's personal issues about doubts in the Kumupi. But maybe a pair clarification kakra. Beginning to the update by a week ago. I Ujaya Okoya. Adia ye who says is a US president called Poland, which is one of the NATO countries, or one Russia, says anytime about attack NATO country biano. One NATO country, 30 countries in the back of Crown can. Be invoking Article 5, meaning you attack one, you attack us all. Now, who say US warning China, say China should know the economic sanctions or supportive Vladimir Putin. And there's that news out there. Say China has seeking support, both financial support. Already China has been supporting Russia because it's taken from SWIFT and most of the financial institutions, But in terms of drones, equipment, open military assistance and so. North Korea also say one of their long-range ballistic missiles. So try to connect it. Now last baby I was say Jai or Koya na no one general. So say to weapon. US for two weapons are juma. A hot year say no one general. And the the strawberry umpire my name why your questions why.
Okay. Okay. Michelle with you for you now. No, I shall for you now. You're more fire.
Obi Ajos.
Ila ula zana anda muna ye samuna vila bata. Alua la sila wuma ali sami anuma ali azalemi. Ula zuba ila mazuvele anda ule ni andi. Alua la ula nila azumale pala ilo smalahi. Ula ila usubi la ala bi turu ala kula nila kadiyada msali. Ndo andara sura ala hialo kuma seliwa ila usuri bi a ilo mahadili alwasami ina rindo aliuru azami amura di tabuli alabi saraha televiz rubalia tayude ayula ila mazura balibi akuba alami ndula sami ara tulami salami tulaha ile arwazami garawa talabusali Andu alamin tula ali zamin talahuria tali waraata ma para ula hilaba onya kupo tu fo wona no nyam asida so tum kan fo beja enu nyam ayeye nyina fataw onya kupo ada samman siawa kada samba enhu onya kupo ti kwanya kada samba ye den onya kupo wona mo adom so ni hu mo bro so hu ada samba mo bo enu ntino wana mo adom so Amen. So my beti Unyankopon sunsun musem apoye ama yada boye bra. Tumfo Nyankopon odi na mesraw don hwere mu. Bedi hene e wo dwumadi mu. Tumi afu Nyankopon abe sori se osori te dwumadi. Metichiri za tumi no e se Nyankopon tumi ase. Bedi obofu peyin Michael, obofu peyin Geba, obofu peyin Chalabini Salafi. Obofu peyin Anfefri, omdo nyina tumi kabom. E ti hu moni bia Nyankopon be ma ne mu so. Ade so Nyankopon tumi atwechi sinsa tumi boni nyina e so Nyankopon tumi ase bedi hene na de ebesua bia ne de ebesua bia no embo ye na damma bi ni da ati bi Nyankopon tumi fo aboyenka ye se de bi uboye kokko na tie ne yenti na tie ne tie ye na musumi ata ye ho so hu de ebeye bada ati bi bisa eto adasamba tuna ajara to Nyankopon tumi fo no abadi wi ase na adasamba nyinara tumi Nyankopon odi na mesro wadu misane onunya misane utumisane beju onunya beju ayeye odina misro amen.
Prophet Oka, let's do this. With a pop quiz. Minim say wo hwe ne life me de ade bia to the Ghana Black Stars. Minim your stance or your position when it comes to soccer. But you don't say Africans or Ghana, your main sport any ball, any soccer. Unlike other countries, some more varieties we pay attention to. So mostly, not many madam for we discuss it or say, I didn't know one sports now monopolizing the sports industry, But to me, excel is sometimes I did the we I mean, jack of all trades, master of none. We won your bibria, we are be a volley, be ball, basketball, Yeah. So na omu ntumi nya de but one sports papers and them say eseke yitumi ya de pa but the Black Star and some ho dodo. Na omu in Nigeria ya bo draw 0-0. Prior to that no say mo nkofo ye omu ye modwuma ye bi almost score by. Ebisa Nigeria for the 2 goals never no almost stop it no. After the penalty no cry by and ebisa no cry counting a ball draw. I mean why only me janya me others ni akasa ho. But the fair no to. I mean, your Black Star, what actually is hindering our more progress? Now, in Nigeria for adding to see draw. Now, boy, Ankasano, and also spiritualism. Now, what is the feature of your Black Star? You call Nigeria, didn't you? Never qualify for your World Cup. With him say, my mom Kaya into the boy Kakra. Why? I said the prophetic eye, and then there's a Kakobo home pie.
Okay, the woman say, in terms of Black Star Federation, Black Stars, you know, they lack the spiritual support. The spiritual support side of the Black Star rap, you know, it's not they lack the spiritual energy. The energy that supports the Black Star success or progress is not there. Secondly, Black Star is debted.
What?
Right? You have debted in a certain spiritual way. And so they need to go and find. Yeah. Almost the car, Black Star the car, they are debted. Yeah. So they have to go and pay that debt before they can be free from such situation where they find themselves of not always coming out as victorious people or victorious team. So that's what I would say. Secondly, the reason why they did not score here in Ghana or the match get to the draw side is because they're supposed to play the match at Cape Coast, not Kumasi. Because Kumasi, the spiritual value in terms of football or sports is very weak. So if you want to excel in football, in terms of winning a match, whether local or international match, then they need to play that match in Cape Coast. But unfortunately, they play that match in Kumasi. So that's why what happened. Yeah. So the spiritual support, the spiritual side of Kumasi in terms of football or sports is very low. So whenever any club at all play any match in Kumasi, it's very difficult for that club to get victory. Unlike Cape Coast. Yeah.
Perfect worker. Now, what is the future? Because you are back when you go Nigeria. Meaning, say, who follow ball kakra. Meaning, me say, ball. I mean, me buy na a different.
Yeah.
Now, your calculations. Yeah. Your calculations be a. Since you say I about draw you. What's mostly ana groupings in the 4 countries. It be a B, C, D. It be a Ghana and A. You see, be a any B. No, you about draw a no C, D. No, where you way free. No, we are as a my chances to qualify. Name say for social media now. I mean, almost started your calculations. This is here. Nigeria need to question Nigeria. Cry your chances of qualifying to the World Cup are high. What is next? And what are you winning?
Okay, now the issue here is that now for Black Star not to qualify to World Cup, not to qualify,
not to okay,
it's 90%. For Black Star to qualify, for them to qualify to World Cup, is 10%. Spiritual point of view. Also, for Black Star, for the Ghana national team, for them to qualify to World Cup, for them to qualify is 10% chances. But for them not to qualify for the World Cup, it's 90%. So for point of view, for where I'm standing, from where I'm coming from, it's not as prophecy, but as prediction, as spiritual projection. I may say that Black Star may not qualify for the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
But Nigeria will do.
Oh, Nigeria will qualify. And I say, Abuja no Mbeshe. Which one?
Let me. There's no chance for that Ghana.
Okay, all right.
This is what I mean.
There's no chance for Ghana. We didn't come. Miana, they are out of like the love I have for the national team.
In the spiritual realm, somebody did spiritual work for Nigeria and Ghana Black Stars, and they're supposed to go and pay that person a homage to that person, and show some action, and they refuse to do that. I don't know the year, but Black Star went to TB Joshua in Nigeria for the TB Joshua to do a spiritual work for them. That spiritual work TB Joshua did for them actually put Ghana Black Star into the world map.
Oh,
which match Bernard as a model so I'm stuck on him. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember saying Bibisa, but I can't give the specifics. But I can't Bibisa. Pacho check your network and I said now all call on and off the ground.
Yeah. So Tim Joshua did a marvelous work. Prophet Tim Joshua did a marvelous spiritual work for Black Star. I think Black Star found themselves in the semi-final or so, the quarter-final, before they got out of the game. And if not because of Tim Joshua's spiritual work he did for the Black Star, I don't believe in the first place the Black Star will even qualify for the World Cup that time. But based on the work he did for them, they were able to reach semi-final or quarter-final. So they're supposed to go back and give some appreciation to the man of God, the prophet. They refuse to do that.
Who, TB Joshua?
Yeah, Prophet TB Joshua.
Oh, okay.
And when it happened like that, TB Joshua came out to complain about the situation that he is expecting Black Stars to come back and show some appreciation. And you know, Ghanaians decided to ask TB Joshua, and some of Ghanaian prophets even joined hands with Black Stars to insult TB Joshua that he did not do anything for them. Meanwhile, they are aware that this man did something for them, and because of that, TB Joshua placed a curse on them. So it will be difficult for Black Star to go for any cup in terms of World Cup or African Cup for them to reach even semi or like a very high position in terms of the tournament. So they need to go back. Though the man is not alive anymore, but they have to go back. The wife is there, the church is there, the leadership of the church is there. They can go and apologize in the absence of the man and show some appreciation to the prophet in his absence. And I believe wherever he is, they will accept the appreciation and the case will be removed from the Black Star team. So as I'm talking to you now, Black Star is in serious trouble in the spiritual world.
Anything I'm sense on performance nice and on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mojumaya mo yesterday before Bemupa, just a Caribbean as a case this.
Yeah, if I can recall, Tim Joshua came out. Whether he came out publicly or there was a leak of tape where the day are you supposed to play the penalty, not Asamoah, but instead Asamoah forced to play the penalty where Asamoah mixed the penalty. Because Tim Joshua said, I remember clearly that when the issue came out, Tim Joshua came out with some certain audio to back that he did the work for the Black Stars. And in the audio, you can hear clearly that Tim Joshua was telling the coach that there will be a penalty for Black Star. That will take the Black Star to the finals or so. So that penalty is supposed not to be played by Asamoah, but the Dayu. At that time, the Dayu was a young guy in the Black Star. There was a Sinapia, Sule Mutali, Kevin Watson, all these big guys were still in the Black Star. But the Dayu was the youngest in it. And Joshua told the coach that the youngest among the Black Star team or players should play the penalty, which is the Dayu. And Asamoah forced to play the penalty where he missed the penalty. And he said, Joshua said that he saw that they have given the penalty to Asamoah to play. And Asamoah missed the penalty, and that got Ghana out from the tournament. So Asamoah, Tim Joshua brought those audio, the kind of chat he had with the coach on the phone to back his claim. And that's when Tim Joshua, Asamoah missed that penalty. And as up to date, as a modern have issue, Ghanaians have issue as a modern because he made that penalty for Ghanaians not to qualify to the semi or final stage.
All right, Prophet Walker, let's not focus so much on this. Thank you very much. We didn't say it was an unprepared one, but and then what boy I'm maybe I say. So as it stands right now, the spiritually, I have been an impact on physical events and your Black Stars,
No, to me, I would say Ghana should forget about the World Cup. There's no hope for Ghana or Black Star in terms of the World Cup. Yeah, the spiritual side, they are weak. And any prophet that would try to do any spiritual work for Black Star, that prophet has a price to pay. Because the grace Joshua was carrying at that time, which he used that grace to place a curse on Black Star, it's not a small case. So if you try to reverse that curse on Black Star, you may have a price to pay for that. And there's no amount of money somebody will give to me to go and work for Black Star Spiritual. I will not do that. Because I respect Joshua a lot. It's anointed, so I will not do that.
But in your own, not to buy in your own statement, now what can say being caught near ho na kongo panacho sika na bibi omo famani.
If I don't think
that's a basa also consider there's a way out so between akọ near no akọ panacho.
Yes, I'm saying that if the Black Star team management decide not to go and see the Steve Joshua family and the church leaders and show appreciation and apologize, and they decided to go for another spiritualist to reverse any curse or any spiritual impediment of Black Star, it will not work. You are wasting your time. The best way is go to Nigeria, beg the Steve Joshua family and the church elders. They will accept the offer or the appreciation on behalf of the late prophet, and the soul of the prophet will accept the appreciation, and the curse will be removed. But instead, we decided to go for another prophet to do any spiritual work to reverse any curse that's upon Black Star, then that prophet have a price to pay. So me, if you are a Black Star coach or a management member, and you come to me, I will not do any spiritual work for you. I will tell you, go to Nigeria, go and do the right thing. Don't come to me. I will not help you.
All right, Prophet Oka,
do the right thing.
Okay, even though now we in kind of topics in the home, but I raise you two issues. I say I clarify. You see, the ACBB, I know what it's home point. I conclude it. I connect. I be free now. Let's do this. Where this Black Star Sama walking, there is another spiritualist or Ghana, Ajagraja. I know you don't like to talk about other people. You can choose not to talk about him. Another person said, "Ne papa mum." Oh, WW, I'm sorry. I mean, I retracted that statement. I apologize to him. I got it wrong. No, or refer to Kotoko. You are right. I'm right. No, refer to Kotoko. Or say, okay, related to Nyoma, say, or say, ne papa so ye maybe ma Kotoko for Noma and Danase. Intina Kotoko for performance, I no. So mostly no, yeah, na a agreement for about spiritualists for no mono moka. Tina Choma and this will go against them.
Yeah. I want to remember. Your service start here am I repeat. Some people when they will come to you when they are need for spiritual help, you will offer them the spiritual service they need. Things will turn good for them. Things will move forward for them. They will see success in their career, their profession. Things will go well for them as they want. But the moment they get what they are looking for, then they forgot the pledge they made to you as a prophet or oracle or a spiritualist. And as for me, I always say on your show that me, if you come to me for a spiritual service and I offer you or I render a spiritual service to you, and you refuse to come and fulfill your pledge to me, the food you prepare, but for you to eat the food, you're not able to eat the food. And you are not
let's do this. Oh, Kasaya and Kofa, another issue be by. There's a normal personal issues on the air, and sometimes you're suppressing a cacra. On say, yeah, mom when you were right from beginning, okay? Yes, I'm more poor as a client.
No, sometimes people, no spiritualists will not make you be aware of the consequences and the prices and appreciation.
No, Bible counsel. Says some way I did move in as a madam was a more punishing.
Yes. Let me give you a biblical example. Elisha and Gehazi went for evangelism. On their way home, there was a woman, a married woman, and a husband. They thought of giving the prophet and the servant a place to lay their head. After they have offered them a place to lay their head, there was conversation between the two parties. The prophet decided to pray for the woman to have children, the fruit of the womb. The prophet did that. The woman had the fruit of the womb. And the prophet said to the woman, when you give birth to the child, come and bring the child to me, so that I will bless the child and dedicate the child to the Lord. The woman accepted the agreement. After the woman gave birth to the child, the woman refused to take the child to the prophet, for the prophet to bless the child and dedicate the child to the Lord. You know what happened? Prophet Elisha offered a curse on the boy or the child. The child died. The woman ran to the prophet and said that the child that you prayed for me to get, the child has died. And the prophet said, what did I say to you? Then the woman was standing there. So the woman had to beg the prophet to forgive her and the husband. The prophet went back to the house of those couples. The prophet lie down on the child's dead body. Bible said the prophet prayed and the boy came back to alive. So even Elisha, as a prophet, the woman refused to fulfill the prayer that he made to the Lord through the prophet, that if God, you give me a child or a fruit of womb, I will bring the child to your prophet for him to dedicate the child to you. After God has blessed him with the fruit of the womb, the woman refused to do that. The child died. Because the prophet heard that the woman has given birth, and he has refused to come and show appreciation by bringing the child to dedicate the child to the Lord. In the same Bible, the Bible said, Eli went to the temple. He saw Hannah praying to the Lord for the fruit of the womb. Eli said to the woman, the prayers you are offering to the Lord will not do anything. You have to make a prayer that, Lord, if you bless me with the fruit of the womb, the first seed that will come out from my womb, I will dedicate the child to you. And the Lord answered the prayers, and the Lord gave Hannah Samuel. Bible said the moment Hannah gave birth to Samuel, he took the child to the house of the Lord for Samuel to serve the Lord by staying with Eli for the rest of his life. So in two accounts, one woman refused to take the child to the prophet Elisha. The child died. In another account, another woman, Hannah, take the child to the prophet Eli. The child did not die. The child survived. So in this case, whenever God used any prophet to do something for you, and you make a prayer, make sure you fulfill that prayer.
All right, let's do this. Yanko, finally.
You should do the prophet. And lose it again.
Okay, Prophet Oka, Yanko, finally. I'm say, sometimes this is why yada many panimbi ya jene. Sometimes more than I'm more, in as much as some will be our one spirit, but at one point you told me, say, Obi will divine, Obi is white, Obi is red, Obi is black. Munina who had any green, and Munina want to me. Oh, say, Kumasi on the ball, no one. Now, spiritually, and yet good for black stars, Meboa. Another colleague of yours, almost your spiritual work, if I know Janyame Azuka. Before born, I'm interested in monitor my crowd media. This is what he said. Ojanyame say, Central Region no Mokako Bono, Mwa Ghana, Mwa Black Stars. Just so Muji de Bekumase, the hall and a sebu two fusion sumo, a hall and a smankwa hin sumo, a hona soft food is warm between a bois. I think I also can something different.
So if you can listen clearly to the statement that prophet made, he was not making that he was not giving that statement based on the spiritual point of view. He was giving the statement based on the physical point of view by saying that all prophets or men of God, most of them come from Kumasi, so they can do something about it. What happened?
I understand that. In a nutshell, this is what I understood him. No person actually say Kumasi, Central Region, and lack in spiritually, and you good place as an umbo. Jadena was who did say so on as a combo.
In the whole Ghana, since they constructed the Cape Coast Stadium, show me one match that Stars has played in the Cape Coast Stadium. They have lost the match. There's no incident. There's no date. There's no event. Blaster have host any country in Cape Coast Stadium where they have lost the match to the other country.
Okay, Prophet. Yeah,
Blaster got a score.
Yeah, because of time. Radio.
So
So if that's what you are saying, a follow-up question on this: why, indeed, irrespective of TB Joshua case in India, Black Star in a match we don't want to keep Kusa, a ben nullify the case. Is that what you are telling us?
No, it's not going to notify the case. But if you play the match in Cape Coast,
Yes.
it will give you a stepping stone. But the stepping stone that it will give you, it will not cross the limit where TB Joshua has placed you.
Oh,
So maybe TB Joshua has placed a case on you that you may not qualify for this certain stage of tournament in the tournament. You may not qualify indeed, but at least you will know that indeed you qualify for the World Cup, but just that you did not qualify maybe to the quarter final or semi final. But that's where the case is.
All right. So, Professor Oka, finally, now you Black Stars same way. Let me say you come too much. And you know, TB Joshua case no, a case Black Stars no. Who name the details of the cases? I will to me who stages in your man.
Yeah, I know the details of it, but I will not touch it.
All right, that's fine. That's okay. All right, let's do this, Prophet. Yanko. Last week, in some market can be, and neck your promises say, when I'm informed on these dates, him say you move be brave, a bekai. Call a platform, so I share our dates. You quite way back in 2021, the month of 2021, the weekend of 11th. Yeah, prophet events it talks about Nanyome Babi Sisi. It will be as Prophet talk about Shankom on the 18th. That was a week before our son, which is on the 18th was another one, and at 25th. And Sunday 31st watch night on one the prophecies. Mostly 99% were solely based on foreign prophecies. Or talking about assassination of Russia and Sanyo Manina. The M1 was here refi one time last week Obeki cancer ma a Daniel attack in your man. So only one call back other YouTube or these days are media moment. The last 3 weeks in December, Sanyo Manina go. Prophet Oka, young quite a topic in so. Last week in summer I will kind of my update. I've done the physical aspect of it, the physical updates, you share when you mind the theme of some of the kind of panel. Okay, say there's a possibility of World War III. United Nations, I'm a union I believe you say there's that possibility. Looking at how superpowers and air flex or muscles, okay. They've made us believe that the UN statement that ABBA. I'm a US White House going to issue statement on that. But one thing I put you in check and is the notion of full-blown nuclear war, nobody wins. Now, what we want to find out from you, you spoke on conditions. Condition Akasa and say US has sanctioned China and North Korea because on Benya leakage be or Dorsia be say Sanko Fui can hold on Russia. No munya sanction on a trap will be a down. If my memory is serving me right, that's what you said 7 days ago, exactly 7 days ago around this time. Now, so many years are paid. North Korea will not almost sanction US, but best start attacking US base after better than nuclear war. China and so because if you're almost sanction here, almost will start attacking. But be a getting interesting party and be some didn't take a war. If you cry just now base you US, some so there be base or Ghana. Now I'm saying say Ahwaya what they can. Now open secret say. I know people have so much love for this country. I won't lie to you. In Tuba Cancer, and who named so I see in I am umpire. If I remember, this was some of what advice are my. One month, maybe I'm defending him, which I could ball last week, latter part of the show. Now, in the course of the week, so we monitor foreign news now. May they pay attention. U.S. Commander in Chief, President Joe Biden, who saw show boldness say that. Or call Poland or Kasai. Or say 30 NATO countries say Russia mistake no attack back or they will invoke the Article 5, meaning attack one, attack all. Meaning, say any moment there's two nuclear power states which there's conflict. So it means that likelihood says to Kwabisi. Sorry, last week, we busa from any political understanding. Saying to say, and China sanction and North Korea sanction. Not say Russia attack any of the NATO countries and this will be trigger World War III and okay, yes. Do you remember saying that?
Yeah.
Yes. So, Prophet Walker, energy.
I remember.
Okay, thank you for your honesty. Energy bang and our cancer assembly. Let's do this. Why you teaching Sophia? Be bring kai big introduction. No, my kaka so we say you are DBC. Hey, you are DB a friendly dream. The in no common one who a new. More dies, more vision, more prophetic, and a more projection. Projection is the same as astral projection, Anna.
Okay. There was spiritual projection. We have spiritual projection, and we have astral projection.
Okay.
There's a two difference. The word spiritual is different from the word astral. The word spiritual word is different from the word astral word. Astral word and spiritual word is not the same.
Okay.
But both this word, you cannot see it with your physical eye. You cannot go there with your physical eye. But both the astral word and the spiritual word is a different word. Two different words. Let me put it that way. So astral projection is different from the spiritual projection. If I said I'm doing spiritual projection, it means that maybe I'm traveling to the spiritual world. If I'm saying I'm doing astral projection, it means that I'm traveling to the astral world for information or for knowledge.
Okay.
To bring it to the knowledge of people here on the physical world, for them to know what's about to happen in this physical world. Because whatever that will happen here, physical world, it first happened in the astral world and the spiritual world. So first it happened in the spiritual world, then secondly it happened in the astral world, then it happened in physical world. So anything at all, before COVID came to this physical world, it first happened in the spiritual world. Then it happened in the astral world. Then it finally happened in the physical world. So that's the two different things. So the astral and the spiritual projection is not the same. It's two different things.
And it's our energy pen. I would be the cancer somewhere. A projection.
Yeah. The energy I used was a spiritual projection, the spiritual projection, and the prophetic eye.
Oh, okay. Meaning, Adibia, and can see what the three. Go ahead. Adibia, and can see what spiritual and son about astral and about your physical world. Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Yes. Yes. So, assuming something can happen in the spiritual world, but when it goes to the astral world, a superpower in the astral world can counter that event, so that that particular event will not translate to physical world. Okay. So the astral world have the final say, or the event which has been programmed in the spiritual world, whether or not to happen in the physical world. So the COVID first happened in the spiritual world. The astral world have the final say on it. If the astral world did not do anything or does not do anything about the event of the COVID, then the COVID will translate to the physical world. So that always the astral world have the superpower or the final say or the any event that has to happen in the physical world. So whenever I do a spiritual projection and I get certain information, I have to go to the astral world to finalize it. If I get the same message over there, it means that the astral world has allowed it to happen in physical world. So the event has already programmed in the spiritual world. I have to find out whether or not the astral world permits it or not. When I find the information over there and I find that the astral world has authorized it, approved it, or accepted it to happen, then it means that what I've got, the information I've got on both sides, will definitely happen in the physical world. So before I'll come out that I've seen this, and this message I got is a spiritual projection or astral projection, it means that no matter what, the higher level of it happening physically is 90%. And 90% means that it's only God, Almighty, the Supreme Being, the Creator. It's only Him who have the final power to stop that event. Apart from Him, nothing will stop it. It will definitely happen.
All right, and we know. Somehow we can last week, pick information from the spiritual world. Okay. As it stands right now, has it managed to get to the astral world?
Yeah.
No, what do you mean?
Based on what I saw, based on what I saw in the spiritual world, it has already been passed through the astral world. And based on the information I am having, shows in the astral world that the astral world doesn't care whether or not the event will happen or not. They don't care. So it means that it's only God Almighty who have to come in and save the world. Because the astral world that have the second authority to oppose the event or counter event, they are not doing anything about it. They don't care about the event, whether the third world will happen or not. They don't care about it. But the spiritual world care about the event. That's why they have already programmed. The spiritual world care about the event. That's why they have already programmed it in the first place. So the second side opinion that is needed, which is from the astral world. The astral world is not doing anything about it. The astral is showing no concern. So all the event is being handled by the spiritual world. And meanwhile, the spiritual world is the world that has already programmed it, and they themselves want it to happen physically. So instead of the astral world to come in to save the world or plead on the behalf of the world by counter the event, they are not doing anything about it. But the spiritual world has an interest in it for it to happen. So it's only God Almighty who can decide to save the world or come in the side of the world to save the event, prevent the event. Because the astral world is not doing anything about it. So if the event has gone through the astral world is saying that he doesn't have any interest in it, he doesn't care whether it happens or not, he doesn't care. So whatever happens, doesn't care. And if it doesn't, the astral world doesn't care, and the astral world is not doing anything about it, it means that definitely it has to happen physically. That's why I say we should pray to God, that God himself should come in. Because the astral world and the spiritual world, the two worlds is under the control of the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being have the control and the final say on this world. So we have to pray to Almighty God and see what God Almighty will do for the world.
Now, maybe now physical world no one no control.
Spiritual world, you know. Yeah, in the spiritual world, the one who are controlling the spiritual world is called Metatron, the God of Israel. On one of them, Yahweh, no. The God of Israel, Metatron. I've already seen this topic on your show.
Yeah, I know.
The God of Israel is different from the creator of the universe. So the Yahweh or Metatron is the.
With the name, may refresh my memory. On say, Anna, Susanna, church, I see yes, with the some years. What does it? Name, may refresh. Okay. But so now, astral world, one finance on astral world. What can say, Yanko on the control board? But so called astral world name before Yanko basis, I see the dominion, the power. No one ahead was astral world.
Astral world, the one who's in control over there is two entities. They are couples, which is the sun god and the moon goddess. These two couples, they control the astral world.
And a spiritual
but in the spiritual world is Metatron. It's only a single being.
No Metatron or control physical world.
The physical world is different from astral world. The physical world is different from spiritual world.
Okay, let's not make this complicated. Let's not complicate this. What's say physical world? You see, a Metatron and a control. And the spiritual world, one a control, one a power.
Spiritual world, no, is the same Metatron who controls it. Metatron is the deputy of God, God of the universe, which is the creator of the universe. Metatron is the deputy of Malcolm or Astolet, the female creator, and he's the deputy of the male creator. So now, God, the creator, the male creator, and the female creator. If the two are not there, Metatron is in charge. Metatron is there. So Metatron come after the male creator and the female creator. So Metatron is in charge of the spiritual world, and sun god and moon goddess are in charge of astral world. And the same Metatron is in charge of this earth planet or this world. And all the gods who are controlling all the planets, are under the supervision and the authority of Metatron. So Metatron is the head of all the gods in all the planets we know. So far, we know 9 planets, but the planets are more than 9. But so far, the 9 planets we know, each planet have a god that controls that planet. And those gods are under the supervision and authority of Metatron. They report to Metatron, and the Metatron also reports to the creator, the male creator and the female creator.
Am I confused? What do you mean? Mr. Walker, a very, very serious thing that we can last week, you know. That's why you take your time to go, because we are just left with 16 minutes.
No, we are learning.
I know we are learning, but sometimes explanation in your money be corner. It doesn't seem to be happening.
Sometimes what?
Like, I don't know. Let's do this. Right now, what clarifies it at the end of starting or spiritual world? The Metatron and the initiative, and I didn't know. I mean, there might be more planets at the end of spiritual world.
Yeah. In a certain period of time, the Earth planet have to go through a certain surface.
Oh, okay.
Or go through a certain innovation. Like as a what we see fear and what to fear. Next year, no shares either down innovation. Like you have built a house, you have stayed in the house for a long time, and you want to do innovation. So Metatron is in charge of this planet, Earth planet, or this world. And this planet is a home to Metatron. So Metatron believes that this Earth planet needs innovation. So Metatron wants to innovate. So Metatron can use any method or any means to innovate this planet, whether through war, whether through a virus, whether through anything at all, whether rainfall. They say Metatron use a rainfall in lower time to innovate this planet. In the book of in the Bible says God destroyed the world with flood. It is not God Almighty, the Creator, who destroyed this world with a flood. It's Metatron who did that work. He innovated the world because he saw that the world is so contaminated, so polluted, and evil are so much on this planet. So Metatron decided to innovate the Earth planet through a flood. So he used a flood to innovate this planet, and he left with only Noah and his family. So anytime Noah found that it's time for him to innovate his home, which is the Earth planet, he can use any method or any means to innovate the world. So Metatron have decided to innovate it. But one thing is that when Metatron make a decision in the astral spiritual world, the message will pass through the astral, because the astral world have a direct connection with the Earth planet. Unlike the spiritual world to the physical world. The physical world and the spiritual world direct connection is not like that. This physical world doesn't have any direct contact with the spiritual world. Before this physical world will have contact with the spiritual world, this world have to go through astral world before it goes to the spiritual world. So it's like a transit. You are traveling to America and you are doing a transit. So if you want to go to a spiritual world, you have to do a transit through astral world.
Yes.
So anything Metatron want to do on this physical world, anything that Metatron want to do physical world,
that go through astral.
Go through a transit, astral, which is a transit to astral to physical world. The same thing. Somebody want to do something in the spiritual world, that person have to do a transit through astral before that person get to spiritual world to do whatever they want to do over there.
That's the middle stage. Okay, so let's do this.
That's the middle stage.
So it means like a Metatron initiatives are the we know what spiritual world, no. Those in astral everything are stopping. And yes, sir.
No, they will not stop him in terms of supremacy, because the sun god and the moon goddess who control the astral world, they are under the authority of Metatron. They are not superior than Metatron. They are under the authority of Metatron. The only thing the astral world people can do is that they will plead to Metatron.
They will do what?
Concerning the event.
Plead. Plead, like on my past.
Plead.
Okay.
Yeah, they will plead to Metatron on behalf of this Earth planet. That the kind of event that you are bringing on the Earth planet is too hard. So reverse it or do something about it or bring the easier way to see how best you can innovate the world instead of going through this kind of World War III. So the sun god and the moon goddess has become a mediator between the earth planet and the spiritual world Matatron. So now, when the event went through the astral world, instead of sun god and moon goddess to preach on behalf of the earth planet or the people on this earth, they have not done that. They don't care about it. So then it means that whatever Matatron to do is have to come through. Because those who are supposed to talk to him, Matatron, on behalf of we human beings, they are not talking to Matatron. They have left the issue like that.
Why?
So whatever happens, let it happen. That's their own decision. Because when Matatron want to destroy this world with the flood in Noah time, sun god was there, moon goddess was there. They did nothing. They did nothing about it. They didn't speak about it. They watched Matatron to destroy this world with flood. They did nothing about it. And many occasions, Matatron have innovated this world without sun god and moon goddess doing anything about it. And sometimes they do something about it. There's a lot of events as well who's supposed to come upon this earth where sun god and moon goddess are seated on behalf of this human race. And we have been spared. And certain did not happen. So they cannot oppose Matatron. No, because Matatron is their boss. Matatron is their boss. You cannot oppose Matatron. Who are you to oppose Matatron or their Matatron? Only thing you can do with Matatron is that you plead with him. You beg Matatron to have mercy. Temper justice with mercy. That's all. Mm-hmm.
Okay, a week ago, which is 7 days, couple of hours. Now, Jaya Okoye, no Sayabia Samba.
We
see a week ago, now Jaya Okoye, where this issue is concerned. Now, Jaya Okoye, and Sayabia Samba. Oh, and I will that junk or spiritual world.
That's what I'm saying there. Since last week, we spoke about the event. For now, the information I am having is that sun god, the god in charge of the sun, and the moon goddess, the goddess in charge of the moon, they have decided not to talk to Matatron or plead with Matatron. They have the final say. They have a say to Matatron on behalf of we human race. And based on the record and information I'm having, shows that they have not done that. That's why I'm saying the possibility of the Third World War happen is very high, which is 90%. It will take the creator, the almighty creator, which is superior than Matatron, to stop Matatron from innovating this earth. Because those who are supposed to do that by begging Matatron, they are not begging him. Then we have to pray to God directly, Almighty God, that he has the power than Matatron. So he should rather stop events. God, the sun god and the moon goddess are not doing anything to help us. The reason is the sun god and the moon goddess, they are with us because we use their element. The sun gives us light, the moon gives us light, gives us energy. They live with us, so they know our situation on this earth. So they don't know how we can cope, what we can cope or we cannot cope with the Third World War. They know it, and they are not doing anything about it. So what can we do? The sun is on this earth planet. The sun shines on this earth planet. The moon shines on this earth planet. And the God or the spirit that control those elements, they know exactly what is going on this earth planet. So they have the power or the means to talk to Matatron on behalf of us. That if you bring such calamity upon the earth, the people on the earth cannot survive it, or they can cope with it upon them. They are not doing that. So only the Almighty, the Creator, who created all of us, including Matatron and the sun god and moon goddess, and we human beings, he himself alone can do something about it by saving us for Matatron innovation.
All right, Professor Oga, you're scaling this in here. Let's do this. Now, Adiyewe, try say avoid it. Is there any way, say, a spiritualist be and a group of prophets and able access to the sun god and the moon god? Now, Mumako plead say, pleading on behalf of the earth for true Metatron.
Yeah, many prophets or spiritualists have access to sun god, the moon goddess. Me myself, I can communicate with the sun god and the moon goddess directly without using any other means. I can communicate with the sun god anytime I want. I can communicate with the moon goddess anytime I want. Any god who control any planet at all, whether Jupiter, whether Mars, whether Venus, any planet at all, any spirit or any angel that control that planet, I can communicate that directly with that spirit. To maybe example like sun god and the moon god to talk to Metatron. Me myself, I can communicate directly to Metatron because God has given me the grace. God has given me the ability to do that, so I can communicate with the Metatron directly. But the issue is that when Metatron make a decision, it's only God, the Creator alone, who can change that decision. No human being. So at that point, I have the direct contact with Metatron, which I can talk to him. My contact with him and my discussion with him or my plea with him will not change his decision. When Metatron takes a decision, nobody except the Creator.
But you say it's a
sun
god and moon god.
No, I'm coming. What you can do is just to plead. And the plead too as well, it's not 100% guarantee that he will accept your plea.
But here's the case, nobody is doing that. So be your own concern. I'm most informed.
And nobody's own concern, right? But even me that have direct contact with the Metatron and others which have direct contact with the Metatron, you cannot change Metatron's decision. Only thing you can do is plead with him. But even pleading with him, you yourself as a prophet or oracle or spiritualist, you know that your plead doesn't guarantee the person's mind the decision except the mighty, the Creator. Okay. So you can try of pleading and which is not guaranteed. So the best is that you say to somewhere and my business. So if some God is not doing that, if the goddess of the moon is not doing that, who am I to go and do that? Right. So the best thing that I can do is that I'll pray to the Creator that the Father have mercy upon us. Change the decision of Metatron and the word for Metatron, for innovating the word. Because the word, we are not ready for innovation. We are not prepared for this innovation. To stop him. And if my prayer is being answered by the Creator will stop Metatron. If my prayer does not be answered by the Creator, then Metatron will carry on his decision. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Prophet Walker, any chronologically, we share your flyer na any to na include mako 4 leaders, including with the 5 personalities near the motor. Okay, you started off from United States Commander-in-Chief, which is Joe Biden. Oni. See, I only China ne kasapa based of wasama okay, or only China. Say my China and my Russia military assistance. So yeah, probably sanction. Meaning from wasama waka in the past or sanction na at the World War beba. North Korea so or to nyo manim so pay attention. Adia ma baba kan ba ko a se bebre no wan ya adwene no. So ye projection no. Means we ye projection no. That was what's we know yeah spiritual world and Astra.
Both spiritual and Astra.
And see how we spiritual now be drew Astra to the next sense ABC Earth with physical world. Next year will be answer as one complete will be any consent to say 90%. Which number be original possibility say World War 3 a bit me see. And yes that's in the nutshell the whole country. Okay. But what baby now a few minutes, 7 minutes near sorry show so. Obeka say prophet, who can say it will get to a point if I say US president, it's China F40, no sanction no North Korea and so information they ban no count like US sanction North Korea again because North Korea they almost sanction on Mamanesi. So this is what we are likely to see, and as I say, Enebeba. Also, say US, assuming in a scenario, say there's a war going on right now, started. The US for started release your bombs in Omonoma and Papa like explode. A whole every sebi Omonwa. And now, a moon now, there's spiritualism at the BEM. You see how many young say astral world, no? That is where China and Russia and your energy free, which is both sun god and the moon god. And yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just all my guys are being no my say Siamese twins. I'm now for that. And
Yeah.
Tieni, Yanko, Vladimir Putin, only. For the purposes of education, we should be brain, you know, but say yeah, refresh your hunting. These are some of the powerful weapons in the beginning. Now, moon god, no, any image and I share. What is so unique about the moon god and Russia? Pacho, wait me the 1 minute I am. Why? Because you're by China, so the near North Korea.
What's the special thing about what Russia, who and what Russia?
What is that mean the connection of the moon god and Russia, that country? Because also I don't know mom worshiping.
Yeah. Me, the reason is after I did my projection on the Ashra world, and I found out that the sun god and the moon goddess are not doing anything about what or the decision Mataton have taken in the spiritual world. The reason why these two beings are not pleading on behalf of us is because of Russia and China are connected to them.
Okay.
Because if the world starts now, or they allow Mataton to carry on or carry out such operation by innovating this world, and such occasion events happen, I said earlier on last week that Russia will be the image of the world after the World War III, because they will get a victory out of the war. Because meaning that thank God it's 100% confident that is behind Russia's strength. Definitely, when the war starts, all spiritual energy or support Russia needs to win the war, he has already prepared to give to Russia. And if Russia becomes the image of the world, definitely he, the sun god, he will become the image of all the gods, as far as the universe is concerned. So he's helping Russia he's projecting Russia to become the image of the world. And indirectly, he, the sun god, is projecting himself to become the image of all the gods in the universe, aside the Matatron and the creator himself. So Matatron...
No. The moon god. Because Russia worship the moon god.
I'm coming. No. The moon god and the sun god are couples. Don't forget that moon god couples always think together. Okay. They do everything together. So you are my wife. Whatever I want to do as a husband, you have to support me. So whatever sun god is planning, the wife, which is the goddess of the moon, is in support. Whatever the moon goddess is doing, the husband, the sun god, is in support. So the reason why the two entities are not opposing or begging or pleading Mataton from innovating this world is because of their personal interest also in the spiritual and the astral world supremacy. Because if physically something like that happens and Russia, China, and North Korea emerge as victorious in the World War III and conquer American and other European countries, and North Korea and China decide to put their powers together to give to Russia to become the outstanding image of the world, automatically he, the sun god, and his wife, the goddess of the moon, also both of them will merge as the victorious among all the goddess in the spiritual world and astral world, because all those countries they will take part in the World War III. All of them are also having gods. They have God that support them spiritually. So if me, sun God, and moon goddess, I'm supporting China, Russia, and they get victory. Tel is supporting America, and at the end of the America get defeated. It means that indirectly, me, sun God, and my wife, goddess of the moon, we have defeated Tel Aviv in the spiritual world. So physically, whatever country Russia and China, North Korea defeated, indirectly is sun God and moon goddess who have defeated those goddess and God who also control those countries. Germany will be defeated, Belgium, Poland, France, America, United Kingdom, all of them will be defeated. And not all of them just like that, but also their God will also be defeated.
Now what about Israel?
My brother, Israel, the God of Israel himself, the one who brings the war.
Yeah, I know. Metatron. That's why I asked you that question, because say Israel for in the moment US is at war, Israel is also at war. Vice versa though. Oh yeah, don't support you. So Metatron now your God no better than say. Better now say moon God and sun God in defeat you.
The Americans, the Europeans are not interested in the war, Third World War, but this Russia, China, and North Korea are interested in the war. And Israel is in support or have contact with Americans. Should I continue?
Yeah.
America and Israel have contact. The God of Israel is bringing the war, but the God of America and its country are not interested in the war. Mind you, the God of America and the God of Israel, they are not colleagues, they are not friends. Tel Aviv is not closer to Matato anywhere. It doesn't near him anywhere. And Israel cannot even stop their God from bringing the war.
Why?
And in case, if Israel decides to take part in the war, in the support of America, their God will not support them. Their God will stand by and they will go to the war and lose the war. I said in your show, Russia decided to go to Ukraine to invade the country. They disobeyed their God. And see what happened. They have lost a lot of men. So if the world water starts, Mataton will inform their country, their people, Israel, not to take part in the war. But if Israel decides to take part in the war because of their relationship with America, and yet they disobey their God and go to the war because of America, their God will disown them. Their God will abandon them. Their God will leave them alone for them to fight the war alone without supporting them. And if America get defeat, Israel will get defeat. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean their God of Israel matters to you. No, he warned you not to go to the war because he's innovating the war. He's innovating this war.
Oh, okay. So it's changes.
America, if Israel decides to take part in the war, it means that Israel is opposing their own God.
Okay, they are being
by
stubborn.
innovating.
I understand. Prophet Walker, General,
Yes.
don't move further. Don't say, why Russia, China. Only for the purpose of education, and I'm there to the sun god image and the honor, which represent China. And according to Prophet Walker, no, the spiritual teachings or studies, no, but so say this moon god I'm a na 2 billion, and then a Russia for energy free. And a sun god, no. The any moon god. No mean one Obama, one Ebema. What can I have about? I don't remember.
Sun god is the male, the sun god is male, and the god female is the moon.
Okay, female. Okay. Until one says you see China and Russia our connection. That's why we are trying to get the connection. The third phase here by any program no North Korea almost used to go to be a friend and live here term. You better talk about it. But Prophet, I one or two questions we have for the other. Because gentleman I boost a question twice. What's the projection on both planes, maybe planes or lanes or planes. This is bold spiritual, and I say the my bar Astra on our some yes projection. On one I'll call it. Me, let's do this. Or say, please. Okay, can you ask Apostle, his prophet or oracle, call him that? That what if it didn't? What if it doesn't happen? Or Apostle, or say, if it didn't happen, say Apostle say NCA. That's NCA. Because I say 90%, so at least there's a 10% room of escape. Anambwa.
Yeah, the 10% is when I said that we should pray to the Creator to stop Marathon, because He is the final person of being to stop Marathon, because those who can breathe on to Him on our behalf are not doing the work.
Who you are, Prophet Oka? Check it. Video na in this young gentlemen are very intelligent. I mean, commending perseverance, love. Also, question me. I say, please, when exactly is it going to happen? Or per timelines? Maybe Busa last week, but I said there wasn't any timelines. Until Professor say so that when we know say Biauka say a basic by December, not say NC December, let's see who say NC. And I say be webinar so I saw yesterday.
No, I gave a timeline, not as
yeah, what can I say?
Yes, I said that it will happen within the period of this year, going to next year. But the first time we should know, or we should notice that the time is close now, or is going to happen, is when America gives a sanction to North Korea or China.
And I say, when Russia attack any of the NATO countries, these are the 3 pointers out of my yes, sir.
Attack, yes. And I said 3 things. So, both North Korea, China, Russia, they are that no matter what, they will create that third world war, because they know exactly what the matter is bringing, and they want to go by it.
Okay.
Because they want to claim and possess and position themselves as the image of the world. So they are going to take advantage of the matter is bringing to get them right.
Prophet, so prophet, that's a who break you up, kakra. I mean, where you get it, okay, grab your answer or phone.
But line here, clear.
Aye, but your answer who still call off the phone, kakra.
I gave a timeline that from within the year to the following year. But the first thing we should notice, and we will find that this thing is actually scheduled to happen, is when America issue a sanction on North Korea or China for their involvement of invasion in Ukraine, and also if Russia attacks Poland. But so far, the American president has started warning China, as I said earlier on. Before Joe Biden came out by warning China and stuff, I've already said it on your show last week, that the America will start attacking China or be involved in the whole process. Then China will come out that they have no interest in the whole thing. America will then bring information, which is leakage of information, which is a false information, just to back their claim that China is part of the whole process or the whole invasion. Then China will decide that we will respond through your instances, not by political way, not by verbal way, but through war. So they will start attacking American bases, like American military bases.
Oh, China mum don't attack a bases. And I say North Korea never attack US bases. Is it China going to attack our bases, or North Korea will never attack a bases?
China will attack American bases. North Korea and America say, this thing I'm going to call World Conference is a private, escape me.
Yeah,
jet fighter, say whatever.
Fighter jets.
Yeah. So when they also said that America will start issue the warning or the sanctions, then the European countries will follow up. So what the North Korea will do is that some of its weapons will not reach certain states of America. So they will start attacking Belgium, France, and other European countries. Then the whole thing will start. Then China will decide not to then attack the American bases any longer, military bases, but put themselves into the war instead by attacking the American economic hub, maybe financial hub, like those states in America that control American economy, which you can see that this state is the financial hub of America, the security state of America, this state is maybe political hub of America. Yeah. Any state that's very dear to America, China will attack.
Okay, let's do this, Professor Matthias here. What the classification, I mean, not be any quick. Now, Russia also, what kind of attack not being video in the West and the US?
Russia will also attack the same European countries and America.
Oh, okay. With planes.
What Russia will do most, Russia will do most is that most of weapons Americans and Russians, Americans and Europeans will land. Will land. Americans will develop a certain spiritual element that will nullify those weapons.
Oh, so Russia will develop, not America.
You said
Russia rather will develop some spiritual energy on the counter US weapon.
Russia will develop. Yes, Russia will develop a certain spiritual element. That any weapon America or European country will like towards even China, North Korea, and Russia will not be exposed. Because when the whole process starts, the three countries with the Russia and China and North Korea will team up as one country. Okay. So they will not go in separate ways as I'm going as Russia, I'm going as a China, I'm going as a North Korea. No. They will then team up because they will see that the NATO, which is the European and Americans, have teamed up as one people. So they will team up as one people. So they will come as one country, not as different countries, so that they will get the victory. After they have got the victory, then they will decide that then the North Korea and China, we should take a step back and give all the glory on the credit to Russia, for the Russia to be the image of everything, that Russia did the most the work.
Is it going to last too long?
It will last. It will last long.
Oh, Professor, I can't do any free. North Korea, I'm saying to me, I can't serve very well. Any North Korea, money came on that one. And I'm going to say a dynasty will be the other way. Online chain a long range missile back over the weekend. I'm saying just the US and pay attention because their focus is much because now you or Poland over the weekend. US President, Commander-in-Chief Joe Biden. I mean, no speech will make here. North Korea airline ICBM back very long range off Japanese Sea. Americans now want to know. According to Prophet Walker, and China worship a sun god, Matrimo image, and Russia worship moon god. I've shown you the image. Now, so the area that one very scary. And Prophet Walker, in your encounter, your spiritual work, what meet is at the end of that? Leviathan, the spirit of Leviathan.
Yeah, I've seen Leviathan before.
Or no one there.
Where they?
Who there?
Leviathan. No, is a red demon, a red spirit, or a red angel.
I've seen Leviathan before. You have seen it. You point me now.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Because of my work, the kind of work I do, the spiritual work I do for people, somebody may come to you, the person may face Leviathan attack, and the person needs salvation from God or deliverance from God. So, no matter what, you have to use the power which is higher than Leviathan to clear Leviathan for the person's life. So, definitely, you come across different kind of spirits. So, Leviathan. I have come across Leviathan before because of my work, the work I do. Yeah.
Last question, Pacho. Who said I'm using frame this question? What is so unique about Spirit of Leviathan? Like,
Come again.
Diabene is so unique about Spirit of Leviathan.
What's so unique about Leviathan?
I think I say, or coming out so scary, like who image now, but on one case anyway.
Leviathan. If you are working with Leviathan or you are you have contact with Leviathan, you always intimidate people. You always aggressive. Somebody may not attack you, but you should attack the person. You can see the character. This person has not done anything to me. This person has not wronged me. This person is sitting somewhere, money is business, but you decide to attack the person. Meanwhile, the person has not done anything to you. That's the work of a Leviathan. Whether or not the person has issue with you or not, he will attack you. So those who have or they are possessed with Leviathan, whether you have done anything wrong with the person or not, the person may attack you. Maybe the person may attack you out of jealousy or envy. The person may attack you. So if you are listening to me and you yourself can testify that you attack people wrongly, you envy people, you are jealous of people, people who have not done anything to you, but you will just hate them. You don't like them at all. Meanwhile, they have not done anything to you. Know that you are possessed by Leviathan. So Leviathan always is looking for fight. He's looking for war. Yes. Anything that will bring confusion, massacre, calamity, anything that would bring destruction. Leviathan is good at that. Yeah. Leviathan is very powerful and it's a red spirit, a red angel. He lives in the sea, but at the same time, he be a sea demon. He also rule in the hellfire. Yeah. So Leviathan have two kingdoms.
Professor Oka, Pacho, hold on, why? A crab is a Yelusu connection. Mamenya quick break now, Yamambe conclude. Yeah, Professor Katabinka. And then say this you better bring it closer to this particular topic. A little H, Yana Prophet Walker. Wow, PGD. Wow, pencil. Today is gonna be the last day you're talking about, sir. All right, Prophet Walker. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're H kakra. Yeah, 19 I'm connected back no. Yeah, di we free. And then my stating earlier before I go off no. Say then the last day yeah kasa assembly. Na yen kan ho assembly.
But your baby mental voice no way.
Na me my viewers ni nyina say then ye last year you talking about sa controversy we afi ye be jai ne monitor update bi ba ne be kan ya ka ba yem fa na say full topic bi whatever that is happening mo ye nyina fa ye ni hwe say no crew say nya no crew at the end day I always say life and time me prophecies am believe in no any determine the BC. All right, now prophet obi busa say na say amba mu na no response be na adema no.
That's what I'm saying, that whether or not it will happen or not, it's in the hand of the Creator. The most important thing is that we should pray to God. So let me tell you something. Last week, certain things we said about this event, it has already started happening. Those who listened to us last week and they were insulting and attacking me, none of them were aware or know of that. Within the period of that week, Biden will start attacking China and started warning them, and it started. None of them were aware that North Korea will launch a weapon. But meanwhile, I said it on that platform that America will start first by attacking China and bring a falsehood or a false information against China that China is part of the whole process. Meanwhile, China knows nothing about it. And indeed, America has started. Biden has bring us such information. I stated that North Korea will start doing those kind of things who's supposed not to do by launching weapons. And this week he launched one. So those who are saying that, who were attacking me last week, if they follow up what happened within the period of the week concerning the Russia, China, North Korea, and America issue, they can testify that some of the things I said that will happen has actually happened within the week. I will never come out and say anything spiritually without God showing to me, because I know that on Judgment Day I will give account to God about the gift He gave to me, how I used that gift. So I'm very concerned about how I project things based on what my gift will bring to me. So any information my gift brings to me, I make sure I'm very careful about how I project it publicly. I will not say anything which I have not received from the spiritual world or the astral world. Any information I bring it out to one or two people or a third party or public domain, I make sure that the information I'm getting from an entity is accurate. Information I'm getting from the spiritual world or the physical world or astral world is accurate. I'm very honest in my dealings. I'm very honest in my spiritual work, because I know that one day I will give an account to my Creator. So I'm very careful.
All right, Prophet Oka.
Those people who are listening to us, I will never mislead anybody. I just want us to be conscious and pray to God for this what is ahead of us. I said in 2019, I came publicly and said about COVID-19. People were insulted me, though I didn't mention COVID-19. I said I saw a virus in China and breaking out across the whole world, and the whole world was shut and life and property were destroyed. People were insulted me. People never know what was going to happen. Eventually, it was COVID-19. You see, within your show on your platform, and I said that there's going to be a plane crash from Asia for 2022. It has happened. China's flight has got crashed. Meanwhile, I said on your platform, people listen to that show that I said there will be a plane crash from Asia. It has happened. People listen, but yet the same people are insulting me for another event. We will sit down, that event will happen, and then they will come back. I should pray for the world. Meanwhile, the same people insulted me in the first place. We should think. We are human beings. We should listen. This is what I would say.
All right, Prophet. I mean, let's not attach emotions to this. One will say, you are not the only one they come after. Make sure I may host you, crowd. I'm saying free line. So they've been doing this. We have before and as analogy be back. Not saying you find it difficult to accept. On the other hand, nobody wants to be misled. So sometimes I have frustrations, no more concern. So I say, because it's too much for them to accept, it's too much for them to believe. And I wouldn't say wouldn't be about 90%. I did being quite papa so. Sometimes viewers and listeners on my like also they come out and put up that attitude I understand that. They say Ubia no ye jumu be cast doubt on a juma or pet. Say Atiama walk about Astra one anyway. So stage is Ukrainian. Let me say next topic and then a bay. You more on it. You know, sometimes no, the entire more yes, I know. I say and suit me to almost but what okay, you know, and we are a normal way mean now in fancy. Say I can't a minute now 4 p.m. and now what 30 minutes. We've done very well. First nearly 2 hours in each show. I feel gradually once you better to so near the back just an hour pay. That's what we've planned. By next month, which is April, yeah, just an hour penny base show. Yeah, any program team air planning the war. But these attacks and no money there stand firm. When you power on anything I'm going to show you. I'm a very firm person, but I'll be building movie I catch me take a position now. Not because I like you to you show no. But at the end of the day, me who say me cover up on certain things for you. Now we mislead you pay it here. I may also have questions to answer someday. As much as integrity no credibility important. No. I'm also share the same sentiment with you. Put him into caution but Mr. Yengi's I know my way me. So, from your spiritual projection, the United States, be say, like consult spirits and horoscope because I need to be I'm catch say, whoa, we Metatron are planning. And now, visa.
The Americans are aware. All those countries. Yeah. America, all the NATO members, they are aware that there's World War III. They are aware. They are already concerned. Okay, let me tell you something. Every year, before we enter to the new year, all the world leaders, especially the head of state, they consult their spiritualists to know what will happen in their country. What's the head of their country? All those head of state, they are aware. Based on the numerology chart and astrology chart that they got from their spiritualists, shows that their country is involved in World War III. They are aware.
Oh, they know.
And they know whether or not they will lose or they will win. They are aware. They are aware.
Then this woman then why are they not doing something to prevent it?
You see, sometimes in the spiritual world, if the frequency the spiritual world is having is very higher than the frequency the physical world is having. So sometimes what you do physically cannot encounter the frequency which is in the atmosphere of the spiritual world. The same applies to the astral world. Sometimes certain event you cannot do anything about it. It will happen, no matter what, it will happen.
Oh, so they know that it will happen.
So they know. They know. The world leaders know. The NATO members, the Asia, Middle East, most of African countries, all of them.
Without me even being a spiritualist, let's do this. Without me being a spiritualist, the easy way to prevent our war, okay, is to give Russia his demands. Precisely, Vladimir Putin demands are open. Yema Russian language yenka Ukraine. Okay? Afi countries now also what to know. Yemfamano. As it stands right now, from reliable information, I listened to General Jacquin on Fox News. Or say, or no, he can or reliable sources say the White House is trying to talk to Zelensky to compromise, to accept the demands of Russia just to end the war. Because Russia is losing in crop of Vladimir Putin 18% to come and but and the guy Zelensky is also trying to say it's too late for them to do that. So no, BSI should have done that earlier. So it means any Russia demand the manner. Sadia ye Emma and yes sir.
You see, let me tell you something. You view something. The numerology of the 2021 shows that The year belongs to Russia.
2022.
Sorry, 2022. The numerology tie shows that this world belongs to this world, and the years ahead belong to Russia. America reign has come to an end. Yeah, that's what the numerology says. The numerology last year, the numerology chart for the world shows that American reign will end last year, which 2020. So I'm telling you that their end or their reign, their supremacy will end 2021, and they knew that 2022 will start from Russia. So Russia also is aware. So Russia is only going for what belongs to him. Russia is only going for what belongs to him. All of them, all of our world leaders are aware. All of them have spiritualists that work for them. They know the information they have got from the universe. Based on the astrology way, numerology way, they have those information. So they only riding on those information or those stats they have gotten to fulfill what is for them to fulfill the content of that chart. They're only fulfilling it because they know they can't do anything about the chart. They can't change what is inside the chart, but only what they can do is that they only go for what is in the chart. So they are going for it. Biden, if he can, he would have prevented everything, but he cannot prevent it because it must happen. So it has to happen. Biden, he knows that this year he will be off from power. Maybe resigning from power, be off from power as president of America. He knows that a woman, his vice president, is going to take over from him. He is aware that his presidency is coming to an end this year by resigning or stepping down, something like that. Or any means that he will be off from power. He knows that the numerology of his America country shows that Joe Biden presidency will end this year and the woman will take over from him. You know, but he can't do anything about it. So he will leave it to for a time to decide. You see? So although our leaders are aware that World War III is coming, World War III is pending, they can't do anything about it by stopping it. The only way is for it to happen, and they will take their actual position to know whether or not they will able to save their country from casualties or not. That's all.
Okay, finally. Now, so what's the sun god, moon god? A powerful chain, US for Yankopon now, which is cherubim now. I didn't think the US is so blessed, not industrial, like for industrialized aspect, economic aspect, financial aspect, they are doing better than China and Russia. Even though China has grown militarily, economically, politically, but Russia, the economy is in tank. So, and also, what is your take?
Is that why America developed than Russia or economically higher than Russia?
So what's this all moon god, no more sun god now. China, they may exception because China almost grew militarily, politically, economically, financially. They are doing well. But China, Russia,
let me give you. The truth is that Russia, Cherubim is not good in terms of maybe in certain ways. Every spirit has his or her weaknesses. Every spirit has his or her strong way or strength. When we come to economic wise or economic development and economic good fortune, Cherubim is good at that. Yes, but when it comes to sun god is not that good in terms of fortunes. Sun god is good at maybe protection, physical protection, spiritual protection. Sun god is good at technology, in terms of machinery, in terms of weapons. Sun god, anything with war, anything that comes with protection, whether physical or spiritual, sun god is master at that. So anything, whether you need a physical or spiritual protection, sun god is good. Whether you need physical knowledge to assemble weapons, machinery for war, sun god is good at that. That's why China, Russia, if something like that will happen, they will defeat America because of thank God is behind them. But economically, thank God is not good at fortune in terms of maybe success in career and everything. Yes. But Telebim is good at that. Telebim, when you invoke Telebim to help you in protection, he will fail you. Telebim is not good at protection, so he will fail you. But when you invoke Telebim for fortunes, good fortunes, then you get success in whatever you do.
Someone can support you, but don't say me I don't care. Me, I'm somebody I pay attention to this kind of international politics. I have so much interest in that area I'm studying to be paper. I mean, with your spiritual understanding and the physical interpretation, I think you're on point. Because if you're China, they're very good in technology, though. Now, we Americans, and that's what I say, in this Charabin, as you are saying, so more bored with finances. The U.S. economy is very strong because of their middle class. Me say, now me can't say me so me can't say any me support you. I'm so now because from all spiritual understanding, right? The physical understanding, I believe say you're on point because U.S. the economy is good because of Charabin analysis now. Oh yeah, I conform to that. And China, when it comes to technology, maybe the quality will be questioned, but they're also good. Now, Russia, Moon God, I don't know how much crew now, sir.
What's the Russia? I didn't know my thing.
Omo dia omukro na den na Moon God na mama yesa, aso won jijabi.
Oh, not like that. Moon Goddess, it's a mother. Moon Goddess is a mother or your bad time. And a bad time, we are so good. So whenever a mother or a woman give birth to many children, and he prepare a meal for the kids, he doesn't prepare a meal for one child or one kid or one son or daughter. He prepared meal for all the family or all the people in the family or the household. The husband, herself, the kids, and even some for the guests. So in Russia side, you can see that Russia have a bit of economic growth, a bit of machinery, which is weapon, a bit of technology, a bit of this, bit of this. So in Russia doesn't have a specific something that you can qualify them that they are outstanding in this particular field. They come across everything in a bit by a bit, a bit by a bit. So what America are good at, Russia have a little bit of it. What China have most, Russia have a little bit of it. So any country at all, anything any country have most, you see that Russia have a little bit of it. So when you look at China, Russia, you may stand somewhere from afar and you may decide to underestimate them. That's why many people are underestimating Russia, that America will wipe out Russia down. And I say, hey, you are joking. Try it and see. Or bad time.
All right, but
if your mother tells you that you go to bed with empty stomach, bear in mind you go to bed empty stomach. Okay. If your mother says that today you go to bed with a full stomach, you go to the bed with full stomach. So most of the time, men in nature underestimate their wife and their mother and their sisters, their women. In every part of the world, men will underestimate women, but we believe that women are weak. Women are weak, men are the strong. So always we underestimate women. But a woman, no matter how great a man is, a woman can bring a man down.
Yes, you are right.
All the big men we know in the Bible, all the men we know in this world, is the woman who bring them down. So we cannot underestimate women, because women control everything. But sometimes we underestimate them. But when you set them and you push them to the wall, your end will come.
All right, Prophet. I mean, well said. And thank you for your explanation. But you say some will love you, some will hate you. These are some of the words from Omomoba show Nisubini. If you say, so we did this a wadi I would teaching say American Sumuiba, because the prophet is very deep. Now, year before, the way I intend into me, that's all this analogy prayer into me. No matter what, everything about us will reject it. Now, I am parties. we gentleman we pussy where you want no ko abeti ready on messages and so e bi si we be e ma de nkofo keka no ain't change you stand name you should make sure say they are using a divine pair because time and a judgment for BBO as be they've given both sides main canopy and then you've done very well one my education pa but one thing I can say ni for who interest and then for my platform no so interest so what did he say I think Yankopon stop Metatron uti ya kana me fama meto because a China World War na ma ulumba be busame to the umu sense bi ba ya because yes skip topics no next week you be ya na bia ye na under prophetic no has there been any update but ye me full discussion bio baby I'm not doubt you and I hope so I did my best and you've also done a tremendous work for me today and then there was school here pa the prophet Walker we did many much to say so we'll find out where be our kana
okay what I would say to the everybody who watch us who listen to us
sure.
God bless everyone I'm not your enemy you are not my enemy but what's good for you what's good for me is the knowledge. Knowledge is what you need. Knowledge is what I need. And when knowledge becomes our friend, two of us, me and you, or you and I, we become best friends in this platform. We should learn. We should open our mind to learn and acquire knowledge. Knowledge is available. If you don't have the knowledge, you become a slave. But when you have the knowledge, you become the master of your own craft. So make sure you acquire the knowledge so that you become a master of your own craft. This is what I'll tell everyone.
All right, thank you very much as always. Just ended was a very great interview and then the Prophet Walker I hope so my phone a bit resting. Last week in some more kind and then all the clarity I always tell people would spend a single day with him, open your mind. Be open life and because sometimes you should be open minded. With a nipa na some more kakura no doubt now they just listen to him. When you query I'm not here to make judgment either some more kind of and I always tell him right in his face, say I don't have that energy. But the mere fact you don't have it doesn't mean say you need to be possessing that energy. Somebody is telling us our energy be to see things beyond the physical world. We need be to determine. We will need be to determine. So why doubting him? Give him the benefit of doubt. Say Bema, Machremo said December, the last 3 weeks before 31st. Events are here. Next week, you better reflection on that and another time in you. But one thing I can assure each and everyone is that you better sad. But prior to that, next week you better talking about planes. You'll say astral world, spiritual world, your physical world. You better now my education. Party, it will help you. I met a phone for liver back in the days, more ago. Now, they be a bad uncle to Woodin, so me I'm a person. I didn't see no happy here. I seen a jovial way, I'm in a group discussion. But I say, the guy is so in depth, or general above you, because secondary school livers. Who's a phone for 1 year level for no much you be. Now, catch them after lectures, like a group discussion, you need a back and then walking back. And that's what the guy told me. I said, no pamphlet is 100% bad. Or bad discussion, my dear, when he say, I never look it down upon it more. But then, you know, almost our boys in the DBL to academic probation. So he was telling me, what dear, there's some other pay and you cry. Sometimes we move back to say, yeah, the fire, near corrective fire, and the calmness, near calmness. So there's a bad information per picket to do baby no be practice here. You can tell, say, man, I do have heard it somewhere, never papa. But it's a necessary so see it tally the spiritual symbols and spirits of these 3 countries to own behavior. You can tell. China is very good when it comes to technology. I say because of almost sun god, no. Russia, young couple say a moon god. Russia is good at a bit of everything. No? In as much as our war, almost first month the I am embarrassing, no. The Russia itself, Nagasana, we haven't taken that thing away from them. You see, and okay, North Korea there. Man, first student come quite in the major. or sister spirit of Leviathan, on the Antokwanko. Only if you cry, no will provoke you. Clearly, this is what we are seeing. Kim, Abusani says, I try, I want Miss House in your Maya or testy. What does he seek to change? I mean, what does he seek to gain? And then Prophet Walker, or my education, say, a new way is see, now one to me can be you are. There's a issue. We just have 2 minutes per. You can reflect on and then someone here can and also was a great show, yeah, talk show. Yeah, platform yeah, so weekend Saturday, Sunday, yeah, 2 hours. Now your new approach and say your programming yeah, be summarizing in an hour. Because 2022, no, time is very important and time is power. Be no word. So clearly this is what is happening. This is what we intend to do. If you as a more DHE, your listeners, it will be as we may help me build the community. So we will be a platform, no suggestion and answer idea. Reach me or me inbox. I will say so. Be have a great week ahead of us.